Question ఏమోసి what language are you familiar with అంత గురిండే.
నార్మల్ చాట్లో రాస్తామన్నాం.
అదే బెస్ట్ ఏమో.
హ్మ్.
ఎలాగైనా మన వాళ్ళు ఉంటారు ఎక్కువగా.
అదే.
ఇప్పుడు ఇది స్లైడ్ షేర్ చేయాలంటే డ్రైవ్‌లో అప్‌లోడ్ చేసారా? లేకపోతే డైరెక్ట్‌గా పవర్ పాయింట్ చేసారా? పవర్ పాయింట్ అయితే సైడ్‌లో వస్తుంది.
Mo- Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for all joining in. It's a Saturday afternoon. We know all are busy doing their stuff, but yeah, thanks everyone for joining in. And yeah, today we are talking about Android Study Jam. Um, Android Study Jams are a program from rural developers. It's to become an Android developer. You learn it from scratch, and there are mainly two nice tracks that are involved in this program, and it all comes with a reward. So the main aim is to learn how to build Android apps in Kotlin by following an online curriculum together with a study group. So it's all collaborative effort, and we have an amazing speaker here, Aditya, who will be telling you more about Kotlin and how this Android Study Jam will help you build your own apps. Yes, Aditya, you can continue from here.
Thank you, Ashish. So, again, warm welcome to everyone. Since it's a Saturday afternoon, we'll try to keep it short and sweet. So, yeah, let's keep some ground rules. So, if you are in need, please mute yourself and use the chat box if you have any queries. We'll answer that at the end of the session. We have a Q&A. And then please don't spam and let us know if you're having any issues with the audio or video. Okay. So, without any further ado, let's start. So we are student developers club, GITAM, and let's start this session with an interactive question. So yeah, uh, feel free to drop your answer in the chat box. So what domain are you from or are you interested in? If you're first year, what domain are you interested in? Okay, I see few members are from web development. Okay, ML. Okay, cool, cool. Okay, I see few members are from web development. So yeah, this Android development course is also you can relate few things from web development course like padding, margin, the layouts, all are similar. Also, the even the elements you use in the app development are kind of similar, like buttons, checkboxes, radios, everything. So yeah, you can relate a lot. And if you're a web developer, front-end web developer especially, then you can learn in a very quick time. So yeah, this is our first session. So Android study jams with Kotlin, and this is our intro session. And you might be wondering what is Android study jams. So Android study jams are nothing but a community organized study groups. So where we learn and guide you people to how to build Android apps through an online training course. Also, I would like to point out that this online training course is a curated course by Android developers with Google Theme. So yeah, and it's also completely free. We'll share you the link. So yeah, before starting, from second pathway, you need to have minimum requirements. I would like to read that out. So minimum requirements are the computer. It's system requirements like 3 GB RAM, i3 processor. So yeah, for the Android Studio in order to run, and then internet connection since you have to access the course online, and an option. I written optional because you need an Android device with a USB cable, or you can use an inbuilt emulator of the Android Studio. Since I wrote optional because it's really cool to use your own app which you have built, and but if you don't have an Android device, then you are always free to use the inbuilt emulator. So moving ahead, this is my second question. What programming languages are you familiar with? You can drop that in our chat box. I'll be waiting. Okay, so I see Python, Java, okay, C++. Okay, okay. So most of you guys are familiar with OOPS languages, object oriented. That's great. Okay, okay. So why are pushing you this? Because since we have two tracks over here in this particular course, so we have two tracks. First one is new to programming, and the second is have prior programming experience. So let me explain you this. First years, if you have no idea about coding and stuff, and you want to learn something, you can just feel free to check out the first track, that is new to programming track, since it doesn't require any coding knowledge, and you'll be much more familiar with the ID. And I will just let you know the details in a while. And if you're pretty confident with the OOPS concept and you want to directly learn the Kotlin language, you can get started with the prior programming experience. But I recommend all of you to start with a new to programming track, because you can just build simple apps, and also it will take time to be familiar. Like 2 hours is enough for this if you're familiar already with programming languages, and you'll be using very less code, and mostly it is an easily you can build easy apps in just few steps following the guided pathways. Okay, and in the second prior programming experience, um, you'll be using most of the programming language to make some complicated interactive apps, and that will be very fun. You can learn a lot, and yeah, I'll share you the links in a while. So yeah, let me explain you the new to programming track. Since keeping in general perspective, I want to explain what you can see in this particular track. So you will learn the basics of Android apps, okay, and with Kotlin programming language. So basically, you'll have guided projects, guided pathways, where you can follow the simple steps in order to make a few similar apps. Also, you can start your journey as an Android developer. So you need not require any programming beforehand, but you can, if you have any knowledge, that's well and good. But if you don't know, you can just use some drag and drop perspective, everything. It's very simple actually, this track. And the prerequisites are basic computer literacy, so how to use a computer and stuff, and basic math skills, because you'll use some kind of logics. So that's it. So no programming as a requisite. That's it. And you'll have 6 pathways. I'll explain you in a second. So I will give you 5 minutes. You can just go here to this link. We'll share that in your the chat section. You can just open this, and you can collect your first batch. All you have to do is just sign in with Google account. It might ask you to sign in, and just use your personal Google account. And it's not recommended to use your GITAM email ID, since you might not access after the final year. So we recommend you to use your personal Gmail account. I'll give you 5 minutes. Please check this website. Okay, I'll show you the website. Few people are facing some trouble. I'll try to show you the website. Just give me a second. So this is how the website looks like. Hopefully you can see my screen. So you'll be greeted with this website, and you can see the both the tracks which I mentioned earlier. And you'll be asked you to be signed in with Google here. So once you sign in, you can see your account over here. Uh, to confirm that it's your account, then you can see here a gear icon, and you can see that Google Developers Profile. So that means you have successfully enrolled yourself into the Google Developers platform. I'll explain you in a bit what is this. So once you do this, you will get your first badge, and I'll explain you what's the importance of this badge. So yeah, you might have I mentioned a few times a pathway. So what is a pathway? So pathway is nothing but in a unit, it's a kind of a milestones you have to complete, and those milestones, if you complete those milestones, will be told as one unit is been completed. Also, you might see here four tracks and one quiz. So four tracks is nothing but it consists of videos, code labs, and code labs are nothing but it's like a guided mini lesson kind of thing, and it's very interactive and easy to learn. So I'll give you a chance to check it out. So once you complete a pathway, and you need to take a quiz for that particular unit, and in that particular unit, you'll after completing that quiz, and if you pass the required score, and then you'll earn a badge. So this badge is important for this particular event. I'll let you know in a second. So where can you find your badges? You can find your badge in the previously mentioned Google Developers Profile. Once you click here, you'll be greeted with this page. So in this page, you can see your information and the number of badges earned. Also, all the badges which you have earned during your completion of course. So we have a various of badges. You need to once you complete that particular pathway and quiz, you will be earning this kind of badges depending on the unit you have chosen. You can also favorite those badges over here if you want to showcase them. And also, I want to point out that this is a beta program, and you are the one of the first members in order to access this through DSC GITAM. So yeah, that's a good thing. So yeah, you might see here new to programming, and I will explain you what it is. In order to get enrolled yourself in this particular track, just click start course, and and you will be greeted with this page. And you can see here it consists of two units, and the badges are shown here. I'll let you know what you can find and what you can expect from these two units in a second. So yeah, this was the thing I was mentioning before. I mentioned before that is the developer's profile, and you can always showcase this on your social media and LinkedIn. So yeah, back to the new to programming track. What you can expect and what you can learn from this, and you can learn that how introduction of a Kotlin language, and it's a very small course, so it doesn't go into the um, fully into the main complicated syntaxes. It just takes care of the basic part of the Kotlin language and what's its importance. Then this is the interesting stuff where in the second pathway where you'll learn how to install Android Studio, how to run your first app. So, and in the third one, you will be learning the important concept of layouts, because without layouts you can't make a perfect app. And that's what it focuses on the third pathway. The fourth pathway, you'll be learning about how to use classes, elements, different kind of stuff. So all these four parts are very small enough, and it's also interactive. As you can also see that we are going to build two apps in this four. So we can see that we are going to build our very own birthday card app. It's also very simple. And this next one is a dice app, dice roller app. And you can see this is the maximum where, average time which expects, but you can always complete this four in 1.5 hours. Also, per each pathway, you will be earning a badge. These are the four badges you will gonna earn end of this pathway, end of this four pathway. So this four pathway is clubbed as one unit, which I showed you earlier, and the remaining unit two consists of two pathways. So these two pathways are, the first one is get user input and the display scrollable list. So here you're going to learn how to build a tip calculator. So this is gonna be also fun. And also sixth one is like a bit complicated, but you are gonna learn most of the basics of a complicated app. So how to display different types of text, images in an app. And also you'll be earning two badges for this. Also, you can see that I have mentioned here more pathways for this course will be released. So even after this event ends, that is on 25th January, you can always expect to see more units. If you're interested, you can always learn. New units will be added in the future by the Google team. So yeah, and for the people who are very confident with programming basics, they can always skip the previous track and start over with this track. And in this track, you're going to learn directly the Kotlin programming language basics, also the how to use those, all that part. And you can always you'll also can build complicated Android apps with multi-screen, very interactive apps. So what are the prerequisites for this particular track? You need to have at least knowledge about what is OOPS concept or object-oriented programming language. So yeah, and next point is that how do you use Android Studio? That you can learn always in the previous track, but if you have any previous knowledge, you can always skip that ahead. Also, this is an optional kind of thing, but yeah, you can always, if you're familiar with GitHub and Git commands, you can always use this also. And yeah, in this curriculum, you will be starting off with Kotlin Koans. So Kotlin Koans is nothing but simple exercises of Kotlin in order to become familiar with the syntax of Kotlin programming language. And yeah, it's very simple also. This all is being curated by the Google team, and it's short and sweet. Yeah. And then if this is also an optional kind of thing, if you're already previously familiar with the Kotlin fundamentals, you can also skip this part. And yeah, it consists of 10 pathways, which I'll explain you. So this was the part I was talking to you in the previous slide. So Kotlin Koans is nothing but the first pre-work pathway, and it is not mandatory, but you can always revise your basics about the Kotlin language. So it is approximately 2 hours, and there is no badge for this, but it's kind of a revision about the Kotlin language. So in the first pathway, in the second track, you will be learning how to build your first app. So this is kind of similar what you have done in the previous track, where how do you set up the Android Studio and build your first app and run it on an Android device or an emulator. So yeah, that, and for that you'll get these badges. In the second pathway, you're going to learn how do you add these images and do some complicated stuff with images, and how do you make it some responsive on tablet size devices. So everything there, and you'll be using the same dice roller app, and this will be also be taught from scratch. So if you miss the first track, don't worry, you can always learn about it here. The third one, you will be learning how to use the layouts. And yeah, in the fourth one, these are the kind of important things of a very good interactive web. So navigation. So navigation plays an important role when you traverse from different multi-screen applications or multi-screen single app. So where if you press one button, it is going to take you to another screen. For example, take an example of a Paytm kind of app. When you scan a QR code, it's going to take you some other page where it's going to ask you confirmation and give you details what you're going to do. And yeah, if you press back, it will take back to the previous one. So it is an idea of multi-screen and navigation. So this is very important for this stuff. And The fifth one is activity and fragment life cycles. This was a very important since it keeps you the local data whenever you input some information into the app. For example, if you open a notes app and you wrote some note without saving it, you press home button. So if you open the tab, it is going to stay what was the previous data you haven't. Even though if you haven't saved, it is going to be saved on the local storage. And those are the activity and fragments lifecycles contains. And we will be also learning how to create a desert clicker app. This will also be fun. And six, it is going to tell you about view model, live data, etc. Is all the small stuff. You can also learn how to become charades app. And the seventh one is kind of more important when you go when you want to build some large scale application, like when you want to store some data. And so here we are using an example of track my sleep app. And it is going to store the information like how much time you did you sleep, everything. And it's going to be a large app, but it's going to be very useful to understand how an app works in the background and what does it do and how to store data. So those all are stuff you can learn in this. As you can see, you are also going to learn building four apps in just four pathways, four different apps. So moving to the end, we have three more pathways, and here it gets interesting because till now we were learning how to build apps which were depending on local storage and local device. So there are many possibilities when you connect to internet, so you can serve more things. So those you can learn through how to connect to internet because app needs to have some kind of permissions. Learn how to get those permissions, how to you want to use those resources, and how to access internet through that particular app. And in ninth one, here is that GitHub and the Git kind of uh, comes into play. So you're going to learn how to create a repository and have add a offline cache and other things here. And you'll be also working how to handle this background processes. So this is kind of important if you want to run your app in the background. So yeah, you will be learning almost all the major concepts in this course. And the tenth one is the fun part because styling is very important in an app. So UI and the styling attracts many new users. So I think this is a very important thing. So you'll be learning how to style your app, how do you follow few principles of designing of your app, how do you manage those uh, margin and spacing kind of things. So yeah, and you'll be creating again three apps over here. So Mars Real Estate app, which is an internet connected app, another is Daybytes, and the third one is Google Developers Groups Finder app. So this will be the 10 pathways that you can see in the second track. So the summary, what we have seen so far. So we have seen that we have two tracks in this particular event, and their new to programming consists of six pathways, and prior to programming experience consists of 10 pathways. So here you can expect to learn all the basics of getting familiar with what is Android, Kotlin language a bit, and that Android Studio. And you will be not exposed much to the coding, but you can always expect how do you can always expect to become familiar with those concepts, programming concepts. But if you're a bit confident over your programming stuff, you can always jump over here, and you can learn the Kotlin syntax using Kotlin commands, and there are fun exercises you can learn, and then you can keep that in action, like learning how to build some complicated apps um, using internet and other local stuff. Also, you'll be learning how to what are the importance of a UI in that particular app, since UI plays a really important role when you can see that a single app can run on your mobile phone, on your watch, and on your tablet. So different devices require different screen ratios. So those all you'll learn in that UI thing. And yeah, so what are the perks of this program we are conducting right now? So first things first, I would like to also mention that since we had two tracks, but Google has we have some guidelines. So you need to complete at least this prior to programming track in order to get a certificate from the Google team. You can always free to choose this new to programming track, but it's not recommended, and I'm giving you that as optional. But if you complete the prior to programming experience track, you'll be having some perks. So I'll explain you in a second. So yeah. So for attendees who successfully complete the Android 14 fundamentals course as part of prior programming experience track. So that means the second track of the two tracks I mentioned previously. So if you complete the second track, at least the second track, you'll be given a certificate for being an Android app developer, participation certificate. Also, you'll learn. We expect you that by completing this second track, you will be able to create apps on your own. You can use different concepts, different complicated concepts. So yeah, you can make your own app and you can submit that to us. And that app can be featured in Google or Android's developers official page and their blogs. So that's the new kind of thing they're trying to do this year. Since I already mentioned it previously, this is a new platform and it's a new curated course provided by them. So yeah, your app can be featured. So it need not be very complicated app. Since you're a beginner, you can put those everything what you have learned into an app, and you can just upload that in your Play Store through your account, and you can just share that link and screenshot. That would be we can submit that, and you can get a chance to get featured that app on their blog site and official page. Also, you'll be getting cool badges of Google Developers Profile, which I showed you earlier. And also, let me point you out that it's a beta program by Google. So, what does it mean? So, this is not available to everyone, and this is like a first service to this DSC universities, and this is also on an international scale. So you are doing simultaneously with other international students which are part of a DSC university, and you can always showcase your badges on LinkedIn or any other social media sites. And yeah, also the main part you're getting is getting familiar with Android Kotlin and Android Studio from scratch, and that too in a very easy and in a very small time. And the best part is that this whole course is curated by Google Teams. So yeah, we are getting a lot, and we know that we are having semester exams, so that's the reason why we wanted to just give you a brief idea, and you can always complete this track right now and give it a break and complete after your semester exams. And since we only have the last day, we can't extend that. We have a last day till 25th Jan 2021. Okay, so that's all from the event, and you can always join us on Discord, DSC GITAM's Discord server that will be shared in the chat section. And if you have any queries related to app development or this particular program, you can always approach us through Discord's channels. And you can always follow us on social media handles like Instagram and LinkedIn. And always ask us any queries and always gets updated with any other future events. So thank you and happy learning. And Q&A time, you can ask your doubts in the chat section. I will be happy to answer those. Also, Ashish, do share that Discord link in the chat section.
Yes, Aditya will do that.
Yeah. So I see a question: is it related to GCP Code Labs? So it's not related to GCP, and this program is it is like a new program on Google's developers platform, and it's just known as a code labs kind of thing. So the pathways you have seen, those are all pathways with milestones and code labs. Yeah, yeah, you can start right now, and you have a time to complete before January 25th, 2021. Yeah. Sorry, Charan Kumar. I don't have any information about its tracks. Uh, yeah, if there is any information about the swags kind of thing, we'll let you know on the Discord server. But till now, we didn't receive any information on the swags. Yes, Naveen. You can start from scratch. Even you are a web developer. It is this program is aimed to be learned from scratch only, and the curated course is very simple to learn. And it is a self-paced lab kind of stuff, so you can always learn at your own speed. So that's not an issue. Yeah, I understand that. Even we also have semester exams, but it's you can always complete this after your semester exams. Hopefully, that will end at approximately 15 January, I guess. So you have time till 20th Jan, and yeah. Naveen, I don't think so. You can use Kotlin for server-side development. Yeah, but its main focus is on app development only. That too for Android. Yeah, but if you want, you can integrate always your Android app with your server, and you can always do. So also the Kotlin is purely front-end side, so I don't think so server side stuff. But you can always do new stuff with that. You can always do research. You can always learn on your own how to, if there is any chance. Yeah. So yeah, Manisharan, the IDE we use is we are using currently Android Studio, and you can also use IntelliJ with some plugins. But you can always use VS Code. Uh, you can always download few extensions from that marketplace, and you will be ready to go. Yes, Sharan Kumar. As I have told before, Swags. I'll try it for you to get that information as soon as possible. But currently, we don't have any information about the Swags, whether it's been provided or not. Currently, perks are just a certificate, and your app can be featured on Google's blog site and their official web page. So that's really cool, and you can always give it a try. Make a fun app and just submit to us. We'll try to we'll send them, and hopefully you can get featured. Yeah. You can run this every app as soon as possible. You can connect to your mobile phone through USB cable, and for that I think you need to have some drivers, ADB drivers. So follow the second pathway of the first track. There is a clear instruction how do you proceed with that. Yeah. Once you install those drivers, you can always connect your mobile phone through USB cable, or if you have a pretty good if you don't have an Android mobile device, you can always use that inbuilt emulator. So yeah, you can use that emulator. Emulator means it's like a mobile device on your computer, virtual device. Yeah, yeah, welcome. Yeah, Charan, you can start from today onwards. Yeah. Okay, so why only Kotlin? So Kotlin is a very in comparison we have in history we have Java as a programming language for Android for a very long time, and Kotlin has been replaced by it a few years back, and Google team has adopted it as its main language, as its first to go language, and Google has been providing those resources every event they're trying to do. So the main reason is why they choose Kotlin, because it is like kind of a Python kind of thing. Like it's very easy to understand syntax, and you can always use. It's also backward compatible. That's the major thing why people try to use Kotlin. You can always use Java if you can't figure out what to do with Kotlin. You can always use Java, but the Kotlin's syntax is very simple to use and also much shorter. Like it's like compared to Python. Yeah. Thank you all. Thank you. If you have any other doubts, you can ask. Yeah, you can always share on your LinkedIn, Mr. Charan. Yeah. Yeah. You can share those badges in the LinkedIn profile as a post. I guess you can always check those badges in your Google Developers profile link, which I have mentioned before. Yeah, you can always click those badges and click share. You can share on your profile. Yes, money. Those badges are important in order to verify your achievement, whether you have completed the course or not. So yeah, yeah, we'll be conducting two more sessions if possible, in order to clear your doubts. We may conduct more sessions in future. So before 26 Jan, we'll be conducting few more sessions in order to clear your doubts and help people to enroll in this particular event. You can always refer your friends also if they miss this session. Always share this link, and hoping you all to complete at least one track and build Android apps. Yes, Naveen, you can use not like Java files. You can always use Java files also. You can import those, but you can also use this syntax also. Yeah. Yeah, Tarun. If you have any doubts, you can always approach us on our Discord server. We'll be happy to help. We also have a web development team. So yeah, you can always approach us on Discord, or you can always use Google as a friend. And Stack Overflow also has many questions. Like if you are facing any problem to set up with your Android Studio, you can always use Stack Overflow or Google. Yeah. Yes, Tarun. Yeah. Yeah, Charan, those all are explained in the second unit, everything from scratch. So you will be learning what are how to declare a variable, how to declare a function, how do you use the function, what are the um, like what are the rules for a particular function. You know that naming everything is being explained in the second unit. So you can always check that out. If you want, we'll conduct an another session explaining everything like how do you we'll guide you to how to clear the first pathway and second pathway also. Yeah. Yeah, if you have IntelliJ, yeah, I know that it's a Java IDE, but you can always use Kotlin. You have all you have to do is download few plugins. Also, even you can do Flutter also in IntelliJ. Yeah, yeah. So using those plugins, you can set up your Flutter environment. That's it. No, Sriram, you need not install anything for Kotlin. For Kotlin, it's already you already all you have to do is you have to install JDK that comes pre-built with the pre-install with Android Studio. So that's the only thing you have to do. Also for Kotlin files, you have to just use the extension .kt. So for example, if you're doing any program apart from app development, you can always use that file name .kt. Yeah, so that's it for the Kotlin. You need not install anything like for Flutter. You need to install few libraries, I guess. For this, you need not install anything. Only it's dependent on the JDK. Yeah, yeah, sure, Sharon, sure. We'll send you the resources and even the other links if you are interested to explore more about Android. And we also have DSC events about the Flutter. Yeah, we are very looking forward for this. Okay, Ashish, I guess if there are no more questions, we can close this session.
Yeah, thank you, Aditya, very much for this amazing session that we had. I hope people who have joined in this Saturday afternoon have taken something away from it, and they would definitely try out the Android Study Jam program that Doodle developers have particularly created for them. Yeah, that's all, and yeah, see you guys. Yeah, we'll have more Android session jams collaborating with other DSCs in Vizag. So
Yeah,
yeah,
looking very forward to that. Also, happy weekend, guys. Hope you try to explore these tracks and see you in the next events.